What's up, guys? The time is currently 3:37, Sunday, July 27th. A little bit of a late night. I just got back from a fun night out with the boys. Sadly, I broke my hand boxing with my buddy. I hit my knuckle straight on the tip of his elbow. So, less than ideal. I've got this cast, this splint for 6 weeks, but I'm gonna make the most of it. I'm gonna lock in. I'm gonna try to make a ton of money the next 6 weeks. I'm gonna try to push a ton of content out the next 6 weeks. But the main focus of this video is going to be picking your niche online. Now, this was something I personally struggled with for a long time, and there's so many ideas out there. There's so many ads of all these people making money different ways online. There's so much content being pushed, being shoved down your throat. Oh, this can make you 50K a month. Oh, this can make you 100K a month. Oh, this can make you 30K a month, right? There's so many ideas. You see so many different things. You're like, oh, YouTube automation. Oh, insurance sales. Oh, remote closing. Yada, yada, drop shipping, like Amazon FBA. There's so many things. So it really comes down to, how many niches can you look at once? All right. So picking your niche is a super important thing, and it's a super necessary step to going to the next level. It's something I struggled with for a long time because there's so many different ways to make money online. And when you want a little slice of everything, you never get yourself a real pie. Now, that's kind of a butchered analogy, but you get what I'm getting at. If you go for the real pie and you try to get all the slices of one topic, of one niche, and you really focus on it, you're gonna get a much better result. And that's something that I have 100% struggled with. And even now, I'm still balancing multiple things, but I'm making it work. And finding, 3 parts of a pie, having a third, and making it work, at least you're focusing on niches and taking them seriously. One of the main struggles I see online with people trying to make money, doing all these different things online, is finding their niche, finding their category, finding their approach. So that's what I'm talking about today, finding your niche and how to get to the next level and succeed in your niche. So mainly it comes down to 3 questions. And these are questions you have to ask yourself. What are you interested in? What do you know about? And what do you want to be really good at? Okay, if you're not interested in anything, that's a problem. You're gonna have to go and figure out what interests you. You're gonna have to do some research. You're gonna have to look around, tie it back to yourself. Well, what truly interests you in life, and beyond money and chasing women or, very surface level things. Look for substance. Look for things that you truly care about, and that's a good starting point. Secondly, we have, what do you know about? If you know absolutely nothing, that's okay. You can learn. You have to learn. You can't just BS your way forever. You have to actually learn. But if you don't know about anything, you need to tie it back to the interests and say, okay, I'm interested in this, but I don't know about this. Or, okay, I'm interested in this. I know this much. I'm going to learn this much. Okay, take the time to truly focus on that interest and to learn about it. You need to learn about your interest to further, succeed in your niche. And then lastly, what do you want to know about? What do you want to specialize in? This is the third and final. It's a 1, 2, 3 part thing. You have to go first, second, third. The last part is, what do you want to know about? What do you want to be good at? And that is basically going to be your niche, but you're going to find that through the first 2 parts. They're going to dissect exactly what I discussed. And from there, you're going to be able to pick your actual niche. You're going to have a head start, have a head in, know where you are, because you approached it in a 3-part sequence. You have to approach it like that to actually narrow it down. If you keep thinking about, oh, I want to do all these things, you're not going to do anything. You're going to sit there, you're going to kick tires, or you're going to try something for 1, 2, 3 weeks and then just give up and move on. And, maybe that 4, 5, 6 week mark, you would have seen true success, true numbers. And it could have just gone great from there. You wouldn't have an idea because you gave up too quick, because you were too focused, too distracted on other things while you had picked a focus for the time being. So if that makes sense, you just need to think about what you're interested in, what you know about, and then lastly, what you want to know about. So one thing I struggled with niche picking is that a lot of things interest me. I've always been a broad knowledge person. I have several topics that I'm very well versed and very knowledgeable in, but I've got a lot of broad knowledge. I've got a lot of interests. I've got a lot of things that interest me that I'd like to get involved in, because I'm the kind of guy that wants a piece of every pie, and that's not always a good thing. There's negatives to that, there's downsides to that. Sometimes I find myself being pulled, being distracted by things that I want to do, things that I want to try. That's not always bad, because sometimes those things have actually turned out to be great topics of interest, great pursuance, with tons of potential, with huge market caps, great scalability. But generally it's not a great trait, and I have acknowledged and accepted that, and that was part of niching down and figuring out how to make money online, was accepting that, hey, I'm a person that likes all this crap, and then you got to pick out the gold from the crap. You got to figure out, okay, this is crap, this is crap, this is crap, this is crap. I'm being fed BS. I'm being sold. I'm being, this is a pipe dream. Like this isn't a truly tangible avenue. For me, that was a major part of niching down. You need to be true with yourself. You need to be honest with yourself. And if that's you, before step one is accepting that's you, and then approaching it, knowing that you're being distracted and interested by so many topics at once that you're going to have a little bit of trouble niching down to 1, 2, 3 topics, And I say topics, but categories, genres, there's a lot of different terminology for the point that I'm getting at, but you understand what I'm getting at. It's dissecting those 3 things and figuring out what you're gonna do. I don't know, if you like going to the gym a lot, sell meal plans, sell how to shred, sell how to successfully bulk, while keeping fat minimal, how to clean bulk, how to dirty bulk. There's an audience for every topic, right? If you're a fitness guy, go one of those routes. Okay, there's a lot more that, one-on-one coaching, weekly video calls, motivational type stuff. For real estate, it's let's say you're closing 50 leads a month. You're making great revenue as a real estate agent. How to learn to get and close 50 leads a month. Sell real estate agents on your success. All right, don't BS them. You got to actually have that success, but sell them on your success if it truly exists. I can keep going on and on. The list is truly endless. How to become teachable, how to become a life coach. I see that all the time. It cracks me up. But like life coaches that are selling programs to train other life coaches, that is, I'm gonna be honest, completely ridiculous. If you need a life coach, wake up, dude. Snap out of it. Come on. But that's an example, and the list goes on and on. You could even plug it into ChatGPT. Be like, give me 10, 20 ideas. Give us some context. Give us some background of yourself. Do a full synopsis on who you are as a person, your age, your interests, your habits. Be upfront with it. Maybe you're a super healthy person, and you avoid all of these processed chemicals and stuff. You're a Santa Cruz medicinal kind of guy. You're a Bobby approved kind of guy, kind of girl, whatever. Approach that. Do videos about healthy choice. Healthy meals. Make guides on how to resist the temptation of bad food. How to resist the temptation of the P word. I don't know if I can say it in YouTube. Personal gratification. How to avoid the P word. How to have a better relationship with your partner. How to improve your mood, your mental well-being. It's truly endless, right? But you need to focus on what you're generally interested in, and if possible, what you're actually knowledgeable about already. And if you're not knowledgeable about anything, it's okay, but you're gonna have to pick what you want to learn about and base that off your interests. Because if you actually care about the topic and you're not just forcing yourself to learn some crap that's just fed to you, you're actually going to take it a lot more seriously, because you're going to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, so many people want to say, oh, you're not going to enjoy the grind. It needs to be hell. You need to absolutely hate it. That's not the truth. Ideally, you like the grind. You like what you picked. You like what you're building. If you like what you're building, you like what you're learning about, you like what you're preaching, you're going to take it a lot more seriously, because it's going to be fun. And if you can make your topic fun and feel less like a chore, less like a job, and more of like a lifestyle and more of a truth to yourself, it's so much easier to do. and that's just the truth. This is a super, I don't know if I'm really getting anywhere in this video, or if I'm just rambling, but I just want to get on here and make a video about something that I personally struggled with, which was picking my niches really, because I picked multiple, and really focusing on them. So maybe no one else had that issue that I have, but I think it's very prevalent. I think a lot of people have the same issue that I had, and still actively deal with resisting the callings of all these random things that I don't really want to get into and don't want to learn about. But yeah, if you found this video helpful at all, if it resonated with you in any way, I'd appreciate it. If you liked, if you commented, suggestions on future video ideas. And if you find my content helpful, a subscription would mean the world to me. I'm going to start pushing out a ton of content. I've got a DJI microphone coming on Monday. That's in 2 days. My content is going to keep progressing, keep getting better. At some point, if my content, if it makes sense, I'll get a real camera. I'm on a 15 plus right now. Don't really need one for the time being, but I'm going to keep pushing out content, finance related. My name is Noble Cloud. I made my first 6 figures at 19 years old, completely online, and ever since then, I have not worked for anyone, and I've been self-employed for the last several years, working completely for myself, making all my money online. I do what I want. I wake up when I want. Every day, I can do exactly what I want. I can go play pickleball whenever I want. I can go to the gym whenever I want. I can do nothing whenever I want. I can hang out with my friends whenever I want. I can hang out with my family whenever I want. And freedom means everything to me. And honestly, the digital space is the easiest access to freedom you will ever get. So if you also seek freedom, keep watching my videos, join my free Discord. There's a lot to learn. I also just recently launched a one-on-one premium Discord thing where you're going to be able to work with me directly one-on-one, building your brand, building your programs, working with me on depop dropshipping, and just being able to talk to me, being able to learn and directly contact me. So yeah, if you're interested in that, check my Discord. I've got a link in the bottom of this video in the description as well. But besides that, I'm going to keep pushing out free content, and I'm going to keep discussing topics that I find useful, but I also will take suggestions in the comments. So drop a comment, like, subscribe, boom.